Hi everybody, this is Doron and today I'm going to show you the game Lords of Vegas. Just a quick preview. There you go. That's validated that this is indeed the game. Normally I speak very quickly in an effort to keep a video short, but this time I'm going to take a little bit a slower pace. This game is not hard to comprehend, but I'd like to be slow with explanation, relatively slow, so I don't miss anything. This game is actually considered one of the best in my opinion. It's up there in the top 5 in my list. I like it that well. So down to the game. In this game, each player is basically like a boss, maybe a mafia type of a person, and you are competing to build casino and build an influence that is represented by scoring here. At the end of the game, whomever has the highest score, obviously not losing the game, winning the game. So this is really at the beginning of the era of building the casinos in Vegas. So that's basically the theme. It really comes out very well in my opinion, and the mechanic in this game, if you haven't noticed already, it's dice based, which is one of my favorites. Now the game, and so I don't forget, the game will be over once a card here in the bottom quarter of the deck is revealed that says game end. This is, I believe, triggers the end of the game immediately. You don't continue complete the round or everything. I'm pretty sure that's how I played it in the past. So what it is I have it set up for 3 players. I normally set up for 2, but in this game, when setting up for 2 players, you have a lot here which is F, which is not going to be played. It's just easier to explain the game with 3, in my opinion. So there are lots here that are being represented by letters and numbers. For example, this is lot A, and this lot, this block is block A, and lot here is A1, A2, A3, A4, 5, 6. This is B alphabetically, B1, etc. C, D, E, F. This is just like a good numbering of lots, which makes it easier to identify location that is needed. So I'm going to start showing the game. I may not explain exactly right away all the rules, but it will make sense by the time I'm done with this video. I'm pretty confident. So at the beginning of the game, there's an initial setup that is done, that every player gets 2 cards. And I'll get into these cards momentarily, what they are, or during the game that will make more sense. Now, and this is part of the initial setup. If we start with a green guy, and I'm not going to bring it closer to the camera to show, but it indicates here B2. B2, this guy takes a token, and he basically owns lot B2. Also E6, let's go to E6, gets this guy, alright? Now, this one here has B6, where are you, B6, right here, and then C3, and the last one, my favorite color to play, yellow, C9 is right here, and I'm going to be biased toward yellow. No, just kidding. B3 is going to be right here. Ooh, there's a pretty neat little cluster going on here. Now, another thing that happens during the initial setup, there's numbers of money here that is indicated, and that's your startup money. So here it says 8, 4. This player gets 12. That's their starting money. That with it, they'll make great decisions in building casinos. This guy gets 10. Let's just break it out to 2 5s. This guy gets only 7. Boo. Alright, so this is the initial setup. We take these cards and we discard here to this location. I'll explain a little bit more about how this whole thing's coming into play. Now, in clockwise order, you just select randomly a player. Maybe the rules indicate who starts, but I always go with random. Let's imagine that green goes first. So what happens at the beginning of every turn, the current player of the round picks up the first card. Now, he has C7, which again, just like in the initial setup, he places a token on C7, he owns that. Now the next thing that happens after revealing a card, everybody who owns a lot that has a token, not a casino bill, a token, gets paid one, that should be $1 million, I believe, so $1 million per token. So if we start with the green gets 3, the red gets 2, the yellow gets 2. Alright? Now, this card is going to go here. There's more to it during the beginning of the round, but at the moment nothing can happen. It will make more sense during the game. Now, one thing to show, you can see that we're discarding per color to each of those columns, I guess we can call it, and it gives an indication about the cards here, what colored cards are still remain in the deck, and that's important to remember later on. So as you can see, green and I guess gray have a better chance than any of the colors to come up, and you would want to try and build towards that. It will make sense just in a little bit. Now, it is the green player's turn, and they can do certain actions as many times as possible or as they want, as long as they have the money to pay for it. Money is a big deal in this game. And they can decide to stop playing their turn and pass to the next player. And even though it's going to go clockwise, I will go in this order just for the explanation. Now everybody will have a card that will explain to them all the actions that they can do. And just for you to know that it won't take much to really memorize what's going on in here. It's really easy, and once you know all of these, you won't even refer to it anymore. But the first action would be building a casino, which I'll explain in a moment. Sprawl, I'll again explain in a moment. Remodel, reorganize, or gamble. All of these actions, except for gamble, you can do as many times as you want, and as long as you have the money. Gambling you can do only once per your turn, and it's basically taking some of your money and gamble at opponent's casino. There are some restrictions to it, but it's basically you have the option to increase your money. If you're short of money, might be a good way of doubling your money, but at the same time you might be losing the money. So that's one of the things that you can do. Oh, I should mention, if I recall correctly from the rules, normally we don't do gamble, but I believe that when you go and gamble at someone's casino, they are the ones who pay you the money that you make. So that's another way of draining cash from others' player. But cash here runs pretty quickly. There's a stream of cash here from the bank to the players. You almost have money. Again, depends on the actions. So the first action that normally you would do is building a casino. So what you can do is you look at your locations, in this case green, and you make a decision where you want to build a casino. For example, in this lot, if you want to build a casino, it will cost you 6 million. Here it will cost you 20, and here it costs you 6 again. You can build casino as many times as you want. Now, this is the strip here. You would have an interest to build a casino along the strip if possible, if it would make sense at a certain point. The reason is, within this deck, there are 4 cards that are called the strip card. And what that means, once you reveal them, all the casinos along the strip get paid. It would make sense in just a little bit. And you would score as well. So, just for the sake of explanation, let's see how much money I have here. I don't have much. I have 15. I cannot build this guy. I can build that one. I'm going to go ahead and build that one. So I'm going to pay 6. Let's see. Let's take 5. Between 1 here. And I'm going to build here. Now, building is by taking a certain color that will represent a casino. Now, as you can tell, you might be able to tell, each color corresponds to a card color. Now, I would go ahead and take the green. And why would I do that is, once any player reveals a green card, and there's the highest chance of getting a green card, once this being revealed, I benefit from that. And that's what I would want to do. Alright, so I build this one, then I take one of my die, and I place the number of pips that are here. This is my initial placements of a die. Now I can keep on going. Now I can keep on building another casino, or my next option is sprawling. I can take over an adjacent lot that is not owned by anybody, and by doing that I will pay double the price that it will be the cost if I would have revealed the card from here. Now there are benefits and there are risks by doing that. The risk is that if another player reveals a card of lot B1, for example, they immediately take control of that casino or that tile location without paying. They just take out your die and they put their die in. So that's a chance you take. The benefit to it, to sprawling, possibly taking the chance in gambling and doing so, is you would control a two-tile casino, which has its benefit, which I'll explain again in momentarily. So that's what sprawling would be. Remodeling is paying $5 million for each tile of the casino and changing the color to any other color. Strategically, over the course of the game, probably after a few rounds, you'll get the hang and understand when and why you would want to do it. And one of the reasons, for example, if green, all of the cards of color green, which I believe each color has 8 of them in the deck, let's say all 8 are being out, and let's say the gray has maybe only 3 cards out, you might consider remodeling for a greater chance of the gray coming out. One thing to keep in mind, if you have, let's say, 2 or more tiles, you cannot change one of the tiles, you will have to change all of them. So you would pay $5 million per tile to do that. So that's another thing you can do. Reorganize, it's another option, another action you can take. Reorganizing is picking up all of the dice, rolling them with the hope of getting higher results. There's a couple of reasons of doing that, which I'll explain momentarily, but the cost for that will be all of the dice that are in the casino, the number of the pips, that's how many millions, that's how much you will pay for that. So let's keep the green player. Let's imagine that he decides to actually stop here. We'll move to the red, just so there's some interaction going on. So green is passing, red is revealing a card, and it's gray. So the first thing that red does, it takes its pip and places on the lot that is indicated, which is F2. Then the bank is paying out to all of the players. Green has 2 lots. Remember, those lots that do not have a casino are being paid. Then red has 3 and yellow has 2. And now red gets to do whatever they want. So red will see if they have enough money here. No, they have about 15. Red will go ahead and build where this 9 is. Okay, going here, it's this 9, and they're gonna go also with green. Everybody likes green. To take a die and place a 3 here. Alright, so let's see, how much money do they have? Let's just show an example of sprawling. Well, unfortunately there isn't enough money, there isn't enough money yet to sprawl. So let's just show an example of, nope, not yet. I'm gonna pass. So now it's the yellow player's turn. Yellow reveals a purple card. He takes over this lot, which is pretty going to be interesting. And you'll see momentarily why. And now the bank is paying out, starting with the green, paying 2 to the green. Red gets 2. Yellow gets 3. Now, this is interesting and you'll see why. Hopefully, 5, no, they can't do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, I'm gonna ignore the rule for a second just to show, for the sake of showing you a certain rule. Imagine yellow had enough money to buy this casino. Alright, let's just pay something for now. They don't have, but again, don't yell at me. I'm just showing you an example here. Yellow is buying this one, and it's gonna do the same exact color as the adjacent one. And now an interesting situation has happened. There are two dice, one of each player, in one casino, since this casino is the same color. The interesting part, the highest valued dice is considered the boss of this casino. And this is important for scoring purposes, which I'll show exactly when that happens. In scoring, if a card green comes up again, in this case, then all of the casinos of green will advance on the scoring marker, one per tile. However, only the bosses of casinos advance. Therefore, if green comes out, the yellow will advance one, and the green will advance one, and the yellow will advance two. The red will not advance at all. Also, another thing that happens, if green comes out, however, the bosses advance, but everybody who owns a green portion would be paid. And what does that mean? Let's just play it through. Let's find a green card. There you go. Let's imagine somebody revealed a green card. So we go through the process of, let's say this was red. Red takes his pip and put on F6. Then everybody gets paid one for each lot owned. And then what happens is everybody who has a green gonna get paid. So red is being paid 3 because they have a die of 3. Yellow is gonna be paid 6. Oh, I think I paid the wrong person. Again, doesn't matter at the moment. And green is going to be paid 2. And now the scoring of what happens is yellow is going to move 2 because he's the boss of 2 tile casinos, and green moves 1. Red does not move. So this is where it's important to be a boss of a casino. The more tiles that there are in a casino, the better. And there's a reason to that. Momentarily I'll explain. But one of the action, if you remember, is reorganize. The red, there's 2 reasons to reorganize. The red would want to have the ability to become the boss. So what red needs to do, if they decide on their turn to try and reorganize, they have to pay the sum of all the pips. Doesn't matter who's the sum, which in this case would be 9. They'll pay 9, and then red takes his pip, yellow takes his pip, they both roll. Yellow and red in this case, they roll the same exact number, which means they're going to have to re-roll. Alright, so red, I think this was where red was, red just became the boss. Alright, so there is an advantage over the course of the game, let's say, for red to have more die here. Now, let's see, what is this, 2, just like that. Because the chance, and then if yellow would like to reorganize, first of all, it will cost them a lot of money to do it. Imagine if this was at 5 and this was at 6. You would have to pay for the whole thing here. And the chances that that will happen, that this will become the boss, it's pretty slim, though it is in fact possible. So that's one thing, one reason why you want to reorganize. Another reason you would want to organize, even if you don't have a boss there, is to try and get simply a higher value, that when green does come out, or any other color casino to that matter, we just have green out here, you will be paid just a higher amount. Just remember, if a color comes up, then everybody is being paid according to the pips there, but only the bosses advance. Now there's a couple of things. Now that you know basically these rules, which are pretty simple, straightforward, the strip cards that come out here will pay out all of the casino, every player along the strip, and that's the condition is a casino that touches the strip. This is a casino that touches the strip. So red would score 15 points, and yellow will score 1 point. And then you would advance accordingly, which would be, the red is the boss here, it will jump 4 to score a 4, while yellow won't, and so on and so on. Now, there is a reason why you would want to be a boss of as larger a casino as possible. Once you reach here, in order to keep advancing, you have to be the boss of a minimum of a 2-tile casino. Now, let's imagine the case was like that, or even like that. We're not talking about summing up the tiles of separate casinos. These are separate casinos. We're talking about connected. So this is a 2-tile casino. In order to advance here, a green needs to come up and then you would advance. You say, might be easy, but the higher you get, you realize in order to keep advancing, you have to climb up. You'll have to be the boss of a 3-tile casino. Here there's a 4, here there's a 5, there's 6, 7, 8, and 9. And it's rarely case you will be able to actually reach here. It's a very, very rare instance. So this is really the basics of the game. I don't think I missed anything, but once you start playing, maybe halfway through the game, you'll start understanding the strategy that this game, as simple as it might look like, dice and everything like that, it can be really, really wow. Let me just show you a card, a strip card here. Where are you? There you go, that's a strip card. Once a strip card is revealed, you first go through the lot allocation and paint everybody, and then you go through the strip. And then I did not place it, but this is the game over card that you would have in there. I don't think I missed any rules. And once again, you have the option to build, you have the option to sprawl, which now you might understand where's the benefit to that. If it might be worth of taking the chance. Remodeling, which again you would do it to first increase the pips for, let's say, 2 to 6, that the payout will be higher, or to become a boss of a casino that you share with somebody. That's actually reorganize. I apologize. Remodel is changing the color of a casino, and then gambling, which you can do only once per turn. And that's it. I hope this video was informative. If it was, I appreciate if you like it. I also appreciate if you subscribe to my channel. And remember that sharing is caring. Thank you for watching.